Welcome to my channel. My name is the Queen Bee, and on this channel I will talk about murders, unsolved cases and mysterious disappearances in Italy. I am an Italian girl who wants to make you participate in the crimes of Italian history. I realized during my travels around the world that Italy is very underestimated, and I decided to make a change, telling you about our multiple crimes. Today, we will talk about an unsolved mystery, the homicide of Elvira Orlandini. 2 years have passed since the end of the war. Mussolini burned with the ashes of imperialist madness and the uniforms of hundreds of boys who had not even begun to live. A tired, hungry Italy was starting back on the road to progress. Yet nothing could be heard of the turmoil of the 1947 in Troiano, a lump of ruined houses in the Tuscan countryside. The farmers continued to plough the land for the lords. The girls continued to embroider initials on clean and perfumed trousers and to read the letters of their lovers. And Elvira did the same. She was born in 1925 in Troiano. She was considered the most beautiful girl of Troiano. She worked as a maid for a rich Swiss family, the Solts. On the day 5th of June 1947, during Corpus Domini, a typical Christian procession, the corpse of the 22-year-old girl was found in the Purge Woods, a stone's throw from the ravine called Botro della Lupa, place where she used to go to get water with her friend Eva, except for that day. Her throat was completely cut. 200 meters separated her from the spring where the family got its supplies. In fact, people said she used to go to get fresh water for the family she worked for, the Solts. Unfortunately, the corpse was found by her father Antonio, that when he didn't see her return, he got worried and went to look for her. As we said, Elvira was the most beautiful girl of Troiano, and it seemed she was also about to get married. In fact, she was preparing the wedding treasure. She, the maid of the villa of the rich Salt family, would have worn the white dress to go to the grave. She was engaged to Ugo Ancilotti, 22-year-old war veteran who survived and returned to his homeland to marry his fiancée. After the discovery of her body, 3 names were chosen as possible murderers: a relative close to the victim, the son of the Swiss family who had taken up residence in Troiano in those years, and finally the boyfriend. The police arrested their boyfriend despite opposition from fellow villagers. During the investigations, some elements emerged that could lead to other solutions, such as the fact that Elvira feared she had become pregnant, a fear she had conveyed to a self-styled sorceress in the area who reported that the girl was having an affair with a married man and that she also feared dying. It was assumed that he was the son of the Solts, but an alibi was procured, which proved that he had been in Rome on the day of the crime, thanks to the fine report for a car belonging to his mother. Another suspect was a relative of Elvira, but at the end of the investigation, only her boyfriend Ugo Angilotti remained as the accused, even if without a credible motive. Leonardi, the Carabinieri marshal, arrested the boyfriend because he believed that he had arrived at the crime scene without anyone having first indicated it to him, and because of blood stain on his trousers. Furthermore, the 2 boyfriends have already broken up a couple of times, and this made think about the motive of jealousy. Ancilotti, however, never confessed. In the trial, which attracted enormous public attention, the accused had as his defender Giacomo Picchiotti, a socialist lawyer and parliamentarian who, together with his colleagues Gattai and Gelati, sponsored the accused free of charge in the belief that it was a circumstantial trial against a poor man. The trial began in 1949 in Pisa, and the media outcry of the affair caused a large influx of public and some disorder due to the conflicts between those who were guilty and those who were innocent, which forced it to be transferred to Florence. Here, too, the appeal was notable, and some hearings were attended by up to 2,000 people, many of them outside the court premises. The trial, however, focused on inconsistent evidence, so much so that the Attorney General asked for 18 years instead of life imprisonment, but the prosecution case did not hold up, as shoe prints number 40 were found near the crime scene, while Ancilotti wore size 43, and the blood stain on her trousers were very small and in any case incompatible with those that would have occurred during a heinous act such as Elvira's murder. Furthermore, the two engaged as the same blood type, and therefore could also have been from the same Ancilotti. Then, regarding the fact of having arrived at the scene of the crime without anyone having first indicated it to him, it was discovered that when he was woken up and told of the tragedy, he took his bicycle and headed towards the Orlandini house, but arrived at the scene of the crime first only because he found along the way. Could the accused have slit poor Elvira's throat and arrived home drenched of blood, managing to clean himself up and change clothes to arrive presentable at the place of discovery? What if the murderer, however, had been much closer to the crime scene, at Villa Salt, for example? The trial ended by declaring the accused innocent due to insufficient evidence, a sentence which was confirmed on appeal. The accused returned to live in Toiano. The case remained unsolved, and a photo was placed on a commemorative plaque in Botro della Lupa to remember the victim. On March 30, 2013, the only defendant, her boyfriend Ugo Ancilotti, who always proclaimed his innocence, died at the age of 91. The question remained buried under the blanket of ivy that today garlands the tombstone with the photo of the murdered girl in the Botro della Lupa. 76 years later, the beautiful Elvira no longer awaits justice. She has handed herself over to her memory with her cursed story, where she lives today like one of the many legends of the woods. Remember to subscribe, leave a like, comment, and follow the Queen Bee on TikTok. See you next week with another episode.